Dear Lord, we thank you for another great day to learn new things. Thank you so much for giving us our teachers and staff who guide us to be good people. Give us an open mind so we can incorporate stronger teachings and learn lessons that will help us to succeed in life. Amen.
Hi there, learners! Welcome to our online classroom. This is Ma'am Risa Bortano Saliven, your science teacher for today. Before we start our online learning journey, please be reminded of these virtual learning rules. So now, this is the most essential learning competency that we need to master. First, differentiate the epicenter of an earthquake from its focus. Second, differentiate the intensity of an earthquake from its magnitude. Third, differentiate the active and inactive faults. Before we start, let us first recall the previous concept that we learned last week through the Battle Brain Games.
What type of force occurs at the transforming boundaries where the two land masses move sideways against each other? It is reverse fold, active fold, strike slip fold, or normal fold. The answer is strike slip fold. What type of force occurs at the converging boundaries where the two land masses are pushed together? It is strike slip fold, reverse fold, normal fold, or fault line. The answer is reverse fold. What types of folds occurs at the diverging boundaries where the two land masses are pulled apart? It is inactive fold, reverse fold, strike slip fold, or normal fold. The answer is normal. What do you call the long and wide fault? It is fault line, seismic wave, normal fault, or sinkhole. The answer is fault line. A blank can detect and record the slightest movement deep within Earth's surface. Thermometer, weather satellite, anemometer, or seismograph. The answer is seismograph.
October 2019, Mindanao experienced earthquakes and hundreds of aftershock, particularly in Makilala, North Cotabato, some parts of Davao del Sur, and Davao City. This phenomenon destroyed the lives of the people and damaged their properties. Nobody can stop the earthquakes, but there are things that people need to know to avoid or to lessen the loss of lives and damage of properties. It is important for us to have a deeper understanding of an occurrence of an earthquake and how to determine the strength of the earthquake. So, before we proceed to the new lesson, try to locate the terms given on the search box.
Direction. Try to locate the term in the search box, find and circle all the words that are listed. You are given 2 minutes to do the task. We have 10 words on the search box. First, the focus, the epicenter, the magnitude, the seismic wave, the Richter scale, the earthquakes, the seismograph, faults, fault plane, and intensity.
Oops, sorry for the distractions. Do you have an idea what is our topic? So, I have a question. What I am doing under the table? What happened to the furnitures? And what is the phenomenon shown in the scene? Yes, you are right. This event is an earthquake. It makes us afraid to come out because we might be hurt by falling debris. The Philippines lies in the Pacific Ring of Fire, which means that we are in the region where earthquakes and volcanic eruption may occur. The best analogy to explain the cause of the earthquake is the snap of the finger. So everybody learners, kindly execute the snap of the fingers. So the first thing to do is to push the fingers together like this. Push them hard enough to overcome the friction which keep the fingers together. And eventually, the fingers will move. As they move, energy is released in the form of sound waves traveling through the air from your fingers to your ears. Then you will hear the sounds of the snap. Today's session, we have 3 concepts: the focus and epicenter, the magnitude and intensity, the active and inactive fault. So I have a question. Where does an earthquake start? So now let's talk about the focus and epicenter. Before we're going to discuss about the focus and epicenter, we will make a model of fault. I have here a sample of model of fault. This is from your Science 8 learning module. I want you to have your own model of fault. So, follow the instruction. I will give you 5 minutes to do your task. So, are you ready? Now, let's do it! done to our model of fault. So, in our previous lesson about earthquakes refers to the result of a sudden release of energy in the Earth's surface that creates seismic waves. Faults, the fracture in the surface of the crash where two blocks of rocks slip. So, we have here a sample of model of fault. I told a while ago that the fault is a fracture or a zone of fracture between the two blocks of rocks. The upper surface of our model represents the surface of the earth. So, in the trace of the line of the surface is a called fault line. This line is called the fault line. If the rocks breaks or mag-move siya, so diba, in our previous lesson, we have three types of faults. The normal faults, the reverse faults, and the strike slip faults. So, normal fault, if this one is the foot wall, and this one is the hanging wall. If the hanging wall drops, that is the normal fault. If the hanging wall goes up, that is a reverse fault. And if the rocks move sideways, that is strike slip fault. So if the rocks break, the center of the earthquake is a focus. This one. As you can see, there is a focus. Focus is the origin or center of the earthquake that can be found underneath of the ground. So, focus, the other term of focus is hypocenter. Hypo means under or beneath. As you can see, that is focus. Focus is a site or location where the block is breaks. So, the breaking of rocks will start at the point where the rocks are weakest na siya. If there is a breaking of rocks, the energy released from the focus is directly dropping in all directions until they reach the surface of the earth, causing the vibration. So the point on the earth's surface vertically above the focus and where energy waves are felt mostly strongly is called epicenter. So above the focus, that is epicenter. This is the spot where we feel most strongly yung waves na yon. So that is epicenter. Epicenter is the spot directly above the surface of above the focus on the surface of the earth. So now, what is the focus and epicenter? When we say focus, this is the center or origin of the earthquakes that can be found underneath of the ground. This is the site or location where the rocks breaks. And then, if the energy released from the focus goes up siya vertically, that is epicenter. So mostly yung mga vibration strongly felt at this spot, that is epicenter.
The focus and epicenter of an earthquake. The point within Earth where rocks under stress breaks is called the focus, while the point directly above the focus on the surface is the epicenter. Activity for focus and epicenter. Analyze the given diagram showing seismic waves spreading out from the focus of an earthquake. Level each box of desired information.
Is an earthquake. How will you describe an earthquake? The answer is very simple. Earthquake can be described based on the intensity and the magnitude. So now, let's talk about magnitude and intensity, the second concept of today's session. So, what is magnitude? Magnitude is the measure of energy released of the earthquake. So it is measured by an instrument called seismograph. So the magnitude uses Indo-Arabic like 4, 5, and 6. The strength or magnitude of the earthquake is measured using the Richter scale. It is a number of 0 to 10 or the base 10 logarithmic scale.
Magnitude is a total amount of energy released by an earthquake. It is also a quantitative measure of the strength in terms of the energy released. Seismograph is the instrument used to measure the magnitude. The Richter magnitude scale, also known as the local magnitude scale, assigns a number to quantify the amount of seismic energy released by an earthquake. It is a base 10 logarithmic scale. Also, Richter magnitude scale use the Hindu-Arabic. Example is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Now, let's proceed to intensity. What is intensity? Intensity is measure how strong or weak is the shaking produced by an earthquake in a certain location. Also, intensity is measured in terms of the damage by an earthquake in different places. Intensity scale use the Roman numerals like IV, V, or VII. In the Philippines, PHIVOC use the PEIS, the PHIVOC Earthquake Intensity Scale, to measure the intensity of the earthquakes. The higher the intensity number in the scale, the stronger the earthquake. For example, if your location or place is near in the focus or epicenter, there is a tendency na extreme or severe yung damage, like destruction or collapse the building, like landslide, loss of lives. While if your place or location is far away from the focus or epicenter, there is a tendency na slight yung damage. Like yung furniture natin, slightly swing lang siya. Or some people can feel the
PEIS, or the PHIVOC Earthquake Intensity Scale, is a seismic scale used and developed by the Philippines Institute of Volcanology and Seismology to measure the intensity of an earthquake. Intensity used the Roman numerals like V, VI, VII. The highest intensity, the strongest the earthquake.
For the PEIS or PHIVOC Earthquake Intensity Skills activity, I want you to analyze the scene and identify what number of scale or the damage. Occur. Now, let's talk about active and inactive fault. So, in our previous lesson, fault is a fracture or a zone of fracture where the rocks is break. So, fault line is a geological fracture wherein the movement of mass rock has displaced part of the earth crush. So, take note, class, the fault line produce powerful energy that can trigger strong earthquake. So here in the Philippines, we have 5 active fault. The first is the Western Philippine Fault. Second, the Eastern Philippine Fault. Third, the South Mindanao Fault. Fourth, the Central Philippine Fault. And last is the Marikina Valley System Fault. One of those feared to have a strong earthquake is the Marikina Valley System Fault or the Big One.
Bayan, noong nakaraang Abril ay niyanig ng magnitude 7.8 na lindol ang Nepal na kumitil naman o pamatay sa may libo-libong katao din. Sa pinakahuli po, umabot na ng mahigit 8,000. Kaya nangangamba na ngayon ng PHIVOC na baka maging ang Metro Manila at ilang katabing probinsya ay makaranas na rin ng malakas na lindol dahil nga po sa Valley Fault System. Ano-ano nga ba mga lugar na mapipinsala ng tinatawag na The Big One? Yan ang pinatrol ng KSP, Kabayan Special Patrol. Niyanig ng isang 7.8 magnitude na lindol ang Nepal noong nakaraang Abril 25 na sinundan naman ng isang magnitude 7.2 na lindol noong ika-12 ng Mayo. Dahil dito, nagpaalala muli ang Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology o PHIVOLCS na anumang oras ay maaring yanigin ng isang magnitude 7.2 na lindol ang Luzon dahil hinog na nga ang West Valley Fault. Ang 100 kilometrong haba ng West Valley Fault ay dadaan sa Bulacan, Rizal, Quezon City, Marikina, Pasig, Makati, Taguig, Muntinlupa, Cavite, at Laguna. 84 na barangay mula sa mga syudad at probinsyang ito ay nanganganib yanigin ng isang malakas na lindol. Noong 2012 ay sinadya ng grupo ng KSP ang mga barangay na dinadaanan ng West Valley Fault sa Quezon City. Nag-umpisa ang fault line sa barangay Bagong Silangan. Tatamaan dito ang PhilInvest 2 subdivision. Magtutuloy naman ang West Valley Fault line sa may Batasan Hills kung saan maraming kabahayan ang nakatayo sa danger zone. Diretso sa Pansol ang fault line, natutuloy naman sa Libis kung saan maraming matataas na gusali sa lugar. Tuloy-tuloy ang fault line sa Blue Ridge kung saan naglagay ng mga muhon o markers para malaman kung saan dadaan ang fault line. Dadaan din sa White Plains ang fault line pero bakanting lote lamang ang tatamaan sa subdivision. Tuloy-tuloy ang fault line sa Bagong Bayan at Ugong Norte sa Quezon City. Sa nagbabadyang panganib na maaari nating harapin kung sakaling yanigin tayo ng isang malakas na lindol, napakahalaga pa rin ang lubos na pag-iingat at paghahanda. Iyon ay kung meron po tayong paghahanda at hindi lamang po ang West Valley Fault ang kailangang paghandaan kundi pati na rin ang 10 kilometrong East Valley Fault diyan po sa may Rizal kung saan nga 12 barangay sa Rodriguez, Rizal at San Mateo ang maaring tamaan po ng magnitude 6.2 na lindol.
Now, what is the difference between the active and inactive fault? First, let's talk about active fault. Active fault is one that has moved in the past and expected to move again, meaning it has ability to generate earthquakes. According to geologists consider fault as active when there has been seismic activity observed during the last 10,000 years. However, inactive fault has structure that can be identified but which do not have earthquakes.
For the active and inactive fault activity, make a Venn diagram showing the difference and similarity of the active and inactive fault. For your evaluation, differentiate focus and epicenter, magnitude and intensity, active and inactive fault by determining whether the statement given is correct or not. Thumbs up if the statement is correct, thumbs down if the statement is incorrect. Read and analyze the news article about the earthquake that happened locally. Include the details about the earthquake such as intensity and the damage it brought.
That's all for today. I hope you enjoy our virtual online classroom. Again, This is Ma'am Risa Bortano Saliven. Stay at home and keep safe.
I don't